A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Prashant Devasagayam. Let's start off with a look at this afternoon's headlines. Mihin Lanka to be discontinued. Budget airline to be merged with Sri Lankan Airlines from the 30th of October. 100 kilograms of Kerala ganja discovered in Vaunia. Customs sees illegal cigarettes worth 5 million rupees at the Katunayake airport. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe flies from New Zealand to India. Over 200,000 affected due to the prevailing drought conditions. Syrian peace talks between the US and Russia fail. And in your lead story this afternoon, the first of many regional conventions being held across the island as part of the 150th anniversary celebrations of the Sri Lanka Police was held today under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
A number of distinguished guests, including IGP Pujicha Sundara, senior police officers, officials from the National Police Commission and regional police officers participated in the event.
Ethnicity, class.
The regional conventions will be held from the 6th of this month.
This morning, it's a pleasure now to invite.
Concluding his official visit to New Zealand, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe is scheduled to arrive in New Delhi, India for a 3-day official visit later today. Now, during his visit, the Premier is scheduled to hold discussions with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi and other senior Indian cabinet ministers. Prime Minister Wickremesinghe and his delegation is also scheduled to participate at the India Economic Summit 2016, which will commence on the 6th of October in New Delhi. Now, in a headline-making story, Sri Lankan Airlines says that Mihin Lanka, which was initiated under the government of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, will be merged with the national carrier Sri Lankan Airlines. This was confirmed to News First by Sri Lankan Airlines spokesperson Deepal Pereira. Pereira said that all Mihin Lanka flights will be undertaken using the livery of Sri Lankan Airlines from the 30th of October.
The government decision, Mihin Airlines will be absorbed to Sri Lankan Airlines from 30th of October. Accordingly, all the routes that were flown by the Mihin Air will be serviced by the Sri Lankan Airlines under full service category.
The work to rule trade union action being carried out by the Air Traffic Controllers Association Sri Lanka, or SLATCA, is still in effect. Secretary of the association Sajuna Hadarargama said that as a result of their trade union action, there is a possibility for delay in flights scheduled at Sri Lankan airports.
Issuing a communique, the Air Traffic Controllers Association says that the trade union action is being carried out citing a number of demands, including resolving the existing salary discrepancies and underestimating the services provided by them. The communique further states that the aircraft deployed for emergency services as well as search and rescue operations will not be affected by the trade union action. However, the association points out that flights carried out by Sri Lankan Airlines may be delayed by a few minutes due to the trade union action.
Now, the Disaster Management Centre says that over 200,000 people have been affected by the drought being experienced in several parts of the country. Assistant Director of the DMC, Pradeep Kodippilly, said that steps have been taken to use water bowsers to supply water to the areas affected. The general public has been informed that they could contact the hotline 117 for more information. The DMC added that measures have been taken to prepare the necessary funds in order to provide relief to those affected by the drought based on the requests of district secretaries. Now, an individual was arrested at the Mannar Junction in Vaunia early this morning for the possession of 100 kilograms of Kerala ganja. Police headquarters said that the suspect was arrested while transporting the stock of drugs in a van. Police say that the stock of Kerala ganja had been concealed behind a stock of bananas. The suspect, a 30-year-old resident of Jaffna, is to be produced before the Vaunia Magistrates Court today. Now, a suspect was arrested from the Vattala area for the possession of 2.2 grams of heroin. Police said that he is to be produced before the Vattala Magistrates Court today. Meanwhile, another suspect was arrested in the Mount Lavinia area for the possession of 3.7 grams of heroin. Now, 4 other individuals were arrested at the Katunayaka International Airport this morning for the possession of a stock of cigarettes worth 5 million rupees. Customs had seized the stock of cigarettes from the luggage of a group of women who had arrived in Sri Lanka aboard a flight from China. Customs media spokesperson Dharmasena Kahandava said that the suspects include 2 Sri Lankan women and 2 Chinese women. In more local news, the Pugoda Magistrates Court issued notices on former Minister Basil Rajapaksa today to appear before court on the 7th of October. The notices were issued when the case pertaining to the former minister over alleged misuse of state funds and the subsequent construction of a house on a 16-acre land in Malvana was taken up today. The case was examined by Pugoda Chief Magistrate D.K. Ruwan Patirana. Senior Deputy Solicitor General Thusit Mudalige requested court to issue an order compelling the former minister to deposit in court the monies obtained through the sale of the said property. However, lawyers appearing on behalf of Rajapaksa objected to the request. And finally, in local news, the commencement of the new year according to the Islamic calendar was celebrated in Colombo yesterday. The festivities, organized by the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Wayamba Development and Cultural Affairs, were held under the auspices of Ministry Secretary D. Swarnapala. An award ceremony for nearly 500 Sunday school students too was held in line with the festivities.